There is this much more highly charged engine that has kind of infiltrated the show based on the idea that there's real jeopardy around what's going to happen to Jake and who might be after him. And so when we introduced the idea of AstroCorps, this company that has designs on people like Jake, it started to infuse the show with a kind of jeopardy and stakes that becomes the kind of dominant force of the second season. We left the season off with Jake making this very huge step when he reaches up and grabs his father's hand and holds his hand for the first time. And it's a kind of a an omen of things to come. It's sort of a precursor of where we're going. And in the first several episodes, we start to explore how Jake is changing and evolving, and their communication, Martin and Jake's communication, becomes much easier for them as he engages more. And, we're working towards the idea that communication has all sorts of different sort of faces, and Jake is now exploring this new kind of communication. The show still somehow maintains its kind of aspirational feel. I think Jake's voiceover and the idea that these stories end up connecting to one another in positive ways still elevates that feeling of kind of hope and aspiration. But underneath it is this current of danger and jeopardy that's driving all of it. So in many ways, if you looked at what the season 1 was, we introduced the idea that there was this mysterious person in room 6 of the board and care facility. And by the end of the season, we knew that that person was Amelia, and Jake was somehow attracted to finding her, like a moth to the flame, wanted to connect with her. And we realized that she is like Jake. And so when we find her mother, who is also searching for her, Maria Bello, at the end of the season, this becomes the engine for the first part of the second season. Finding Amelia becomes the dominant story engine of the second season. Amelia is a character who a couple of years older than Jake, but clearly showed some of the same sort of passion for numbers and the kind of obsession with numbers. Her particular sort of obsession revolves around the tidal patterns and drawing these maps of tidal patterns around the world. And we introduced that at the end of the first season. She was also a patient, I guess, if you will, of Dr. Teller, of Danny Glover's character. And so we have sort of kept her as this mysterious other version of Jake out there, a few years older. We realized that she can talk, unlike Jake. She actually is verbal, but she is a little strange and a little quirky. And when we finally, cast Saxon to play this part, we realized, like you usually do when you have an actress that meets you halfway with a character, that there was much more to this character than what we had thought. She's an enormously talented actress who can really access emotions very quickly. And so it gave us an entire range of storyline to go with. And so I think what we're doing is building this tension for several episodes of will we find her, and how will Jake and Amelia find one another, and the near misses that they have, I think, will build a kind of fun frustration for when they finally do meet one another. So I think the second season is a really good place to start for a new viewer, because I can't think of a single show that I've ever seen that had as clean a break from the first season to the second season, where we literally left everything behind. We left New York, we came out to California. In the last 5 minutes of the season finale, everything that we had from before is gone and everything is new. And so as they're standing there looking out at the vast Pacific Ocean, it's sort of infinite possibilities for the future. So in many ways, it is a good place to come in, as a new viewer.